Khalid ibn al-Walid.
Born in Mecca in 585 CE, is recognized as one of the most brilliant military commanders in history. Known as the Sword of God, he participated in over 100 battles without a single defeat. His campaigns reshaped the Middle East and permanently weakened the power of two superpowers of the time, the Persian Sasanian Empire and the Byzantine Roman Empire. His life was defined by unmatched tactical skill, rapid maneuvers, and psychological warfare. From the Arabian Peninsula to the gates of Damascus, Khalid changed the course of empires with an army of tribal warriors. Khalid was born into the Quraysh tribe of Mecca, a noble family that initially opposed Islam. He gained early fame as a cavalry commander during the Battle of Uhud in 625 CE. There, he led a decisive flanking maneuver against the Muslims, exploiting their exposed rear after their archers abandoned position. Although on the opposing side during the early years of Islam, Khalid converted to Islam in 629 CE. His decision to embrace the new faith shocked many. He joined the Muslim forces shortly before the Battle of Mutah and would quickly prove indispensable. 629 CE, a Muslim force of approximately 3,000 men advanced toward the borders of Byzantine-controlled territory in modern-day Jordan. The confrontation at Mutah was triggered by the killing of a Muslim envoy by a Byzantine allied governor. The Byzantine allied force consisted of about 100,000 troops, including regulars and Arab Christian auxiliaries. Outnumbered more than 30 to 1, the Muslim army suffered the deaths of its three commanders, Zayd ibn Haritha, Jafar ibn Abi Talib, and Abdullah ibn Rawaha. Khalid, a newly converted Muslim, took command. He rapidly reorganized the army and introduced several deceptive maneuvers. To intimidate the enemy, Khalid had additional campfires lit at night to simulate the arrival of reinforcements. During the day, he changed troop positions frequently to give the illusion of fresh forces arriving. He then executed a strategic withdrawal, maintaining defensive cohesion while fending off superior Byzantine forces. His cavalry covered the retreat, harassing enemy flanks and maintaining pressure. This tactical retreat not only saved the army, but marked Khalid's emergence as a master strategist. In 633 CE, under Caliph Abu Bakr's leadership, Khalid led an 18,000-strong army into the Sassanid-controlled region of Iraq. The Persian Empire, with its powerful and heavily armored troops, presented a formidable challenge. Battle of Chains, Kazima. Khalid's first major encounter was against a Persian army led by General Hormuz. The Persian soldiers were literally chained together to prevent retreat, an attempt at forced cohesion. Khalid used fast cavalry charges to break the Persian lines, exploiting their lack of mobility. Hormuz was killed in personal combat. Battle of Mazar. Here, Khalid faced a Persian force of 30,000. He divided his forces into mobile flanks, used cavalry to encircle the Persian army, and cut off their retreat. The result was a decisive Muslim victory. Battle of Walaja, one of Khalid's greatest tactical triumphs. He faced 50,000 Persian soldiers with just 15,000 troops. Khalid used a double envelopment, similar to Hannibal's tactics at Cannae. He baited the Persians into an aggressive advance while hiding his cavalry behind hills. At the right moment, the hidden cavalry attacked both flanks, encircling and annihilating the enemy. Battle of Ullais. After defeating another Persian force and their Christian Arab allies, Khalid executed a siege on the river Ullais. Persian forces attempted to flee, but Khalid's army blocked the river crossings. Thousands were killed in what was later termed the River of Blood due to the scale of the massacre. Battle of Firaz, Khalid's final battle in Iraq against a joint Persian-Byzantine Christian Arab army of over 60,000. Using the terrain of the Euphrates River, he lured the enemy into a bottleneck, then launched a swift, aggressive attack. Most of the enemy forces were slaughtered or drowned trying to retreat across the river. By early 634 CE, Khalid had defeated every Persian army sent against him and firmly established Muslim control over southern Iraq. After his victories in Persia, Khalid turned westward, toward Roman Syria, then under the control of the Byzantine Empire. This campaign would bring him face-to-face with the largest, most organized military power of the time. In 634 CE, Byzantine forces under Emperor Heraclius prepared a large-scale counteroffensive. Over 100,000 troops were mobilized across Syria and Palestine. Meanwhile, Muslim forces in the region were scattered and struggling. Khalid responded with an unprecedented march. He led his army of about 9,000 men across the Syrian desert, a 500-mile waterless route thought to be impassable. Khalid completed it in just 6 days, catching the Byzantines completely off guard. This feat is still regarded as one of the greatest forced marches in military history. Battle of Ajnadane, near present-day Israel. Around 20,000 Muslim troops faced a Byzantine army of roughly 90,000. Khalid used the terrain and flexible formations to repeatedly outmaneuver the heavier Byzantine infantry. By keeping his cavalry mobile and applying pressure on Byzantine flanks, he caused a rout and forced their retreat. Byzantine defenders numbered around 15,000, while Khalid commanded a force of about 20,000 after reinforcements. The city was surrounded, and Khalid used coordinated pressure on multiple gates to stretch Byzantine defenses thin. Eventually, he led a surprise night assault through the eastern gate, taking the city before a peace deal could be finalized. His precision and timing ensured a relatively bloodless takeover. Battle of Yarmouk, 636 CE. The Byzantines gathered an estimated 120,000 troops. The Muslim forces numbered around 30,000. Despite being outnumbered 4-1, Khalid displayed extraordinary control. Over 6 days of fighting near the Yarmouk River, Khalid executed feigned retreats, luring Byzantine cavalry away from their infantry use of terrain, positioning his army near cliffs to restrict movement, coordinated counterattacks with cavalry constantly harassing the Byzantine rear. A sandstorm on the final day blew into the Byzantine faces. Khalid used this to launch an all-out assault. The Byzantines were crushed, tens of thousands were killed, many driven off cliffs or drowned in the ravine below. Yarmouk broke Byzantine control over Syria permanently. Khalid's tactics were decisive, aggressive, and deeply psychological. Despite his success, Khalid was dismissed from command by Caliph Umar in 638 CE, possibly to reduce the risk of over-reliance on a single general. Khalid accepted the decision without protest. He spent his remaining years in Homs, Syria. He never led another campaign. In 642 CE, he died of natural causes, a deeply ironic end for a man who had longed for martyrdom in battle. Khalid reportedly said on his deathbed, "I've fought in so many battles, yet here I die on my bed like a camel. May the eyes of cowards never sleep." Khalid ibn al-Walid is often compared to giants like Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, and Napoleon Bonaparte. All were brilliant, but they fought with massive state support. Alexander commanded a professional imperial army with logistics and engineers. Genghis Khan built a vast military system with supply chains, mobility, and discipline. Napoleon led Europe's finest troops, backed by infrastructure, artillery, and national funding. Khalid ibn al-Walid, he had none of that. He led 18,000 tribal fighters into Persia and annihilated a 50,000-strong army at Walaja with a textbook double envelopment, no maps, no siege engines, no centralized war machine. At Mutah, he rescued 3,000 Muslims from an encirclement by 100,000 Byzantine troops using deception and a masterful retreat without losing cohesion. At Yarmouk, he faced 120,000 Byzantines with just 30,000 men. He used terrain, flanking attacks, feigned retreats, and a perfectly timed sandstorm to shatter the largest army of the era. Unlike the others, Khalid never ruled. No empire, no tax system, no standing army. He fought under command, and when dismissed at his peak, he quietly obeyed. He never lost a battle. He never fought for power. He defeated empires with raw tribal forces and unmatched military brilliance. In terms of pure strategy under pressure, no general in history compares to Khalid ibn al-Walid. Conclusion: the legacy, 1900 to 2000. Khalid ibn al-Walid's military genius reshaped the geopolitical map of the Middle East. Within just a few years, he brought the two most powerful empires of his time to their knees. His strategies are still studied today. His mastery of maneuver warfare, deception, and discipline made him one of history's most formidable commanders. He remains undefeated, the sword of God, a legend who proved that brilliant strategy could overcome overwhelming odds and change the fate of nations forever.
Like and comment below if you learned something new, and subscribe for more